Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We have seen that recently, for quite some number, say decade or so, yoga has become a buzzword. Be it politicians, be it corporate heads, all the honchos, all the gurus, all the teachers go in for yoga. And mostly they understand yoga to be just the contortions of the body. And that's why I have never taken kindly to it. But when yoga is deemed and considered and understood as a technique for meditation, for controlling energy through pranayama and meditation, so as to speed up the self awareness process of the aspirant, then it's great. And that is where Kriya Yoga comes in. Kriya Yoga is not a contortion of the body, to loosen up your muscles, to firm up your system and organs, all that blah 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 that's talked about the yoga gurus. As a matter of fact, it's the most ancient type of meditation technique, which, when practiced, is meant to accelerate. People call it accelerate spiritual progress. I call it the process of self awareness, self awakening, and self knowledge. And Kriya Yoga, meditation technique, has been practiced in India for centuries. As a matter of fact, it's completely not known when this concept of yoga was given a big goodbye to, until when Paramhans Yoganand came and mentioned the technique in his book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And then it received worldwide attention. Yogananda is supposed to be as one of the modern founders of Kriya Yoga. Now, what is Kriya Yoga exactly? As I said, it's a meditation technique. And this focuses more than just physical benefits. The physical benefits that accrue from yogic practice. I don't deny there's certain benefit in the yogic asanas and exercises, but they do not lead you to know what you are, who you are, what you are destined to be. Kriya Yoga technique is designed basically to incorporate meditation, self inquiry, and surrendered devotion to help develop your spirit and live. Most important, it's not only the spiritual, you live a conscious, fulfilling life. In simple words, Kriya Yoga is nothing but a more to tell you how to be a Karam Yogi. Somebody asked me, why is it that in this pantheon of the religious leaders and the spiritual leaders of India, more than 1,000, maybe more than that, I have only two persons whom I admire right from the days of antiquity today, and they are Krishna and Gobind Singh, Guru Gobind Singh. These two were the real Karma Yogis. These were the two people who perfected this art of meditation, what I call the Kriya Yoga, and became Karma Yogis. Now, Kriya Yoga is a knowledge of the Brahm, known as the knowledge of the soul. Karma Yoga is renowned and finds mention even in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Now, Patanjali is supposed to be the father of yoga system, and he mentions this particularly as a process of self-awakening. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, it has the highest mention, and it is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. As a matter of fact, Gita described it as Karma Yoga. So Kriya is Karma. Karma implies Kriya because Kriya is action. Karma is what you do, Kriya is your action, and that is what Karma Yogi is. The last line of each chapter of Gita states the science of the eternal, the scripture of the yoga, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Iti Brahm Vidya Yoga Shastra Shri Krishna Arjuna Samveda. So this is a dialogue between the soul and the body. Krishna represents the soul, Arjuna represents the body, and it's a science of the eternal. As a matter of fact, this system is a bestowal of the ancient spiritual knowledge and dissemination of that. And the practice of Kriya Yoga, was also adopted by Guru Gobind Singh, first time when he was praying at Hemkund. And he believed that the practice of Kriya Yoga imperatively confers salvation. Now, this is a very curious thing. It's a release from that cycle of birth and death, happiness and sorrow, the pain and the misery, the afflictions, and it brings to an end the world journey in 3 consecutive births, giving rise to the eternal peace. Otherwise, they say there are 84,100,000 births to be taken before you can achieve salvation. But if you believe in Kriya Yoga and if you practice Kriya Yoga, it's just 3 cycles and you get the salvation, eternal peace. And curiously, when I was reading Patanjali, I saw that he mentions at one place that why the children cries at the time of the birth. He cries because he knows that he is entering a world where he'll lack peace. He will find scarcity of peace in this world. And achieving peace in peaceless environment is impossible. And here is where Kriya Yoga helps. Now, quite curious. Every child cries, but he says they cries for a reason, and I'll come to that, We have got to accept that Kriya Yoga is not religion. It's in fact a science, the ultimate science. What we term as science normally is gross oriented. It's about mixing one object with other and creating a third object. Or mixing with one powder, one element with other and creating a third element. That spiritual science aims at, now this is the crux in Patanjali's Kriya Yoga, that you merge the dynamic prana, the breath, with the still prana, the moving breath into the quiet breath. And he goes on to explain that when man is born, the purpose is that he moves, performs action, is alive, and one day expires. So why does it happen? Now, according to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, each breath that we take has 100,000 vibrations. And when you die, the vibrations come down to 10. And due to his prana attaining vibrations at birth, he has to achieve freedom from vibrations one day. You do not achieve salvation till the vibration comes down to 0. And because at 10 you expire, so when you are born again, you have got to do it. You cannot be vibrationless, so you have to be born again and again have 100,000 vibrations in each breath. This is birth, death cycle. A living being in this manner traverses innumerable births and deaths, evolves and is born as a human being, commences his human cycle in whatever vocation he chooses, gradually progressing. He has the first stirrings of religiosity. He then follows the external manifestations of religion, not the internal. And that's where Karma Yoga comes in. It makes him realize that internalization is much more important. And thus, traversing hundreds and thousands of the several births, one day when he expires, in whatever species he is living, his vibrations of the breath are zero, and he achieves the salvation. And according to Patanjali, this is the ultimate purification. And then questions arise: who am I? Where I have come from? Where I have to return? And here Kriya Yoga has all the answers. So that's why I said it's a science, it's a philosophy. It's not religion. Kriya Yoga science states that kineticism is being alive. Stillness is Shiva. So if you are alive, then you are doing something. The infinite dynamism of our breath is still through this by seizing the birth-death cycle. And that still state of pran, of breath, is Brahm, the ultimate reality. The evolution one can realize that you have to reach the still state. So Kriya Yoga is said to be the scientific knowledge. Gyan Viranjana Satyam. This learning is not confined to any religion, as I said earlier. It is beneficial to all humanity. Religions are created by man. And since man is a ephemeral being, whatever he creates is also transitory. But breath-related spiritual knowledge and soul knowledge leading to self-knowledge is eternal, indestructible. All human beings and cults are breath-oriented, and Kriya Yoga is prana worship, the worship of the breath. Now there are two yogic sciences: physical Hatha Yoga and spiritual Kriya Yoga. So let's see the differences in them. The biggest differences between Kriya Yoga and Hatha Yoga is that Kriya Yoga is focused on more than just the physical benefits of the yogic practice. Hatha Yoga is a practice of performing yoga poses, asanas. The word Hat means force, thereby emphasizing the physicality of this type of the yogic practice. And Hatha Yoga has become very popular as a means of physical fitness, as those asanas, poses used in Hatha Yoga definitely help improve strength and flexibility, promote overall health and well-being, but they do not lead you to the self-awareness, self-knowledge which is done by Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is more focused on the multifarious aspects, not the physical aspects, but your mental, your mind, your brain. This is basically designed to incorporate three things. A, meditation, self-inquiry, that's the most important, and surrendered devotion to help develop your spirit. And the result, live a conscious, fulfilling life now. Now the second difference, a major, Kriya Yoga, as I said, focuses on spiritual awakening. It's designed to help you grow up as a real human being. What they say about Guru Gobind Singh, Mard Agambara, the peerless man, the real Homo sapien. Now there are four essential actions which form part of Kriya Yoga. First is meditation. Now meditation including prosperity. They are not saying goodbye to prosperity, materialism. No, that's a part of it. So you have got to meditate and also earn money. And this basically methodologies of Raj Yoga and includes 8 limbs of practice. Now those 8 limbs I'll take up separately in one day, but the main purpose is that it's a growth based on meditation, which we now call mindfulness. And it utilizes that technology of Raj Yoga, the ruling power. Raj doesn't need only to be the ruling, it's the ruling of the self. And the ruling of your consciousness. So that's the first part. The second is contemplation. Contemplation about who you are. what you're going to be, what's the nature of reality. And once you understand the nature of reality and you understand your connectivity with the other parts of the world, with cosmos, you understand your place in the world. And once you understand your place in the world, that is self realization. Third, reflection, thought. You contemplate and then you reflect. Contemplate is first thought, reflection is mulling on the thought. So, on reflecting on how you live your life, and the way you live your life means living with wisdom, living with sincerity, what I call empathy, authenticity, and compassion, empathy. So, wisdom, empathy, and compassion, as well as authenticity. With these capabilities, with these attributes, you unlock the secrets to the inner peace as well as prosperity. You can really be prosperous that way. And the last fourth ingredient is exploration. You explore your mind, you explore your brain, you explore the world, and engage with the practices. And then you discover what works for you. There is no definite rule. You can be in Raj Yoga, you can be in material world, but still the main thing is self-realization. What are the main goals of Kriya Yoga? That's the most important thing. They are peace and prosperity. And prosperity refers to living according to ethical values, dharma. Not religion, but ethical values, your standards. You set up your standards and live according to them. It's not somebody else. You realize yourself, you set up your standards, and you live according to them. In other words, living for more than just the material needs, for higher purpose. And Kriya Yoga teaches that true abundance only comes when you clear away all your fears. Be fearless, Ma boy. If you are fearless, your way would be much clearer. Doubts and misgivings you might have, but you have got to remove them. That's why reflection and contemplation is there. Because they obstruct you from realizing your true self. So Vedas have four primary aims. And these aims are also incorporated in Kriya Yoga. And these aims are Arth, that is wealth, is one of them. Second is Kama, enjoy life, is the other. Moksha, self-realization, and ultimate freedom. And above all is Dharma, ethics. So, neither sex nor wealth is frowned upon. They are parts of your being. They are the primary aims of life. And then along with that, moksha, the ultimate freedom, and ethics. If you get your wealth by ethical means, nothing can be better than that. If you have sex and still are not licentious, nothing can be better than that. So, the true peace and prosperity are the aims and objectives of Kriya Yoga. And that is why we hold those people, the Karma Yogis, in the highest regard. Because they were the people who realized themselves and their capabilities and lived according to the standards set by them. Many people will say that Krishna was wrong because he could have saved the word from Mahabharata, but he said, no. My standards are right and wrong, dharma and adharma. So I go by dharma, whatever the results may be. He was a man who could kill his aunt's son Shishupal, but after giving him 99 warnings. So Kriya Yoga is basically combination of morality, ethics, essentially, I shouldn't say morality, aims, exploration, thought, and self-awareness. And a person who achieves the ultimate goal, whether living or dead, is a part of the cosmos, and that part you can achieve only through Kriya Yoga. Thank you.